Welcome in the latest episode of Five on the Floor on the Five Reasons Sports Network. Thanks for finding us on your favorite podcast app, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on those and more. We're also on Dash Radio. Download the Dash Radio app. Search for Nothing But Net every single weeknight at 7 p.m. Also, check out the Five Reasons YouTube channel and fivereasonssports.com. We never have a paywall. Also, check out the great sponsors of the Five Reasons Sports Network. COVID's not gone, but people are starting to go back out again. If your company does trade shows, you've got to reach out to Everything Trade Shows. They're based right here in South Florida, but they do trade shows all over the country. If you need a trade show exhibit, you may need some help getting going again. Maybe your marketing team isn't fully back. They've got a one-stop shop. Again, a full booth build. They do the design for you, the logistics, the booth, the graphics, the furniture, the flooring, even some tips so you get noticed. They can teach you the difference between renting and buying and what makes more sense for you. And again, they're based right here in Fort Lauderdale, but they can service all 50 states. So schedule a free consultation. And if you mention Five Reasons, you'll also get a free booth rendering. So check it out at everythingtradeshows.com or the phone number 954-791-8882. That's 954-791-8882. Mention Five Reasons, get a free booth rendering, everythingtradeshows.com. And now, tonight's special episode with Kendrick Nunn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5
on the floor.
Welcome to Five on the Floor, a daily show on the Miami Heat and the NBA featuring Ethan Skolnick with Alex Toledo and Greg Sylvander, part of the Five Reasons Sports Network.
Welcome back to Five on the Floor on the Five Reasons Sports Network. Here's today's floor plan. We've got a special guest, second-year guard of the Miami Heat, a starter again, Kendrick Nunn, having terrific second season here in the NBA. We've got Alex Toledo with me. We've got Brady Hawk with me, but we're going to get right to it. First thing, Kendrick, appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, man.
I want to take you back to the beginning. Last week of the regular season, a couple of years ago, you're in the Golden State organization. We didn't really know what the Heat were going to be doing that week. We heard that they might let a player go. They might not let a player go. We didn't really know who they were scouting at that time. They announced that they're bringing you in. I don't think a lot of Heat fans knew a lot about you at the time. What was your initial reaction to it?
Around that time, I was my G League season was ended. I was back at home in Chicago. Just still training. Obviously, the NBA season was still going, so I was hoping for a call-up. And I was in Chicago training, and I got that call from my agent, like, "You're going to Miami, pack your bags." I was on the first next flight to Miami, so I was extremely blessed to be able to be in that position. I was extremely happy.
Did you think at the time that there was a path for you with the Warriors?
I did. I actually did. When I signed with them on draft night, I thought I had an opportunity. I did have an opportunity, and I was fighting for that last roster spot at training camp. So I definitely thought I had opportunity there.
All right. So Kendrick, I wanted to ask you this, pretty much, Ethan started off with a question about how you were with the Warriors, how you ended up with the Heat, and you kind of surprised all of Heat Nation here. You've pretty much been a good, consistent starter for the majority of the 2 seasons now. And I think a lot of us can agree you've shown a lot of improvement this year, polishing on some stuff when it comes to your defense, your scoring, your playmaking. You've rounded out as a player there. And I wanted to ask you specifics when it comes to that. I think Spo has done a lot on defense this year, asking you guys to do a lot when it comes to trapping, blitzing, zoning, switching. And you guys have done a great job of keeping up with all the different coverages. How have you feel you've done yourself keeping up with all the different defensive coverages that Spo has thrown out there?
Yeah, I think I've done a great job with it. I'm the type of player that has a lot of versatility to my game and defensively as well. So I can guard multiple positions from the 1 to the 3, maybe even a 4 sometimes. It depends on who's out there on the floor, but I've been well in this system of defense. I think I'm the perfect player to fit in defenses like this, get to fly around and just use my talent and get stops and steals and stuff.
Hey, Kendrick, I'm just kind of wondering, going back to the summer league type of thing, you came in without a lot of people knowing your name, playing next to a guy like Tyler Hero, where a lot of people did know his name. There was a lot of eyes on him. I'm just kind of wondering, did you think it was possible that not only in a couple months you'd move up to this Heat team, but not only that, but become a starter in a matter of months? Did that ever cross your mind that, that quickly that could turn and that could happen?
Yeah, to be honest, it was. I was having those thoughts, and that was definitely on my mind. I had a great summer league with the Heat, and going into training camp, I mean, I've met with the staff, and they said the opportunity was there, and to go take it. They were supportive of me and loved my story, and they said the opportunity was here. So just to work hard, and anything can happen. And I did that and fell right into the spot. I earned that.
But even so, you come out of the gate last season as a rookie, and I don't know that you were on everybody's scouting report at that point, but you just kind of jumped out for the first month. I mean, scoring a ton, kind of getting to your spots. I mean, you were putting up rookie numbers in the first month that were like comparable to what Dwayne Wade put up in his first month. Did you ever think, with everything that you've been through to get to that point, that I don't want to say it came easy, because I know nothing came easy, but that you would have so much success so soon?
Yeah, it was basically the preparation that allowed me to perform the way that I did early in the season as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? A ton of preparation, ton of hours in the gym in the off season, spending dedicated to my craft, just working on getting better. And I spent time with the Heat during the off season, so that helped to my advantage as well, just learning the system and everything.
All right. Another thing I wanted to ask you, Brady asked about your relationship with Tyler, especially, starting off with Summer League and how it surprised everybody. And, I asked before about your defensive improvement. I think you and Tyler have both shown improvements on the offensive end, kind of in similar areas, more or less at the same time. I think both of you guys have gotten better at kind of, the game slowing down, taking decisions, at your own pace, and kind of turning into more patient scorers, more patient playmakers around the same time. I wanted to hear what you had to say about the chemistry that you have with him. You've been playing well with him. You've been playing well with Goran as well. And sometimes even all three of you together, it's kind of a new look for the team as well. So I wanted to ask, what do you think about, this kind of new aspect to the team with you and Tyler playing together well, and sometimes, you and Goran, or you, Goran, and Tyler?
Yeah, I think the unique thing about us three guys as players is we can play on the ball and off the ball. We're great handling the ball, and we're great catch and shoot guys. So we can play on and off the ball. And you have a combo backcourt like that, I think that's pretty tough to guard. And we've just been working out together, for 2 years now. On off days and stuff, we get together, we work out, we challenge each other, make each other better in practice. So we know each other's games, and the chemistry is just constantly building.
To that end, how is it different to play with each of them, Kendrick? Because you've had time to play. Obviously, you played with Tyler a ton in Summer League, and then you played with Goran a lot last year, actually, and you've had, I think, more success with Goran recently, just according to the numbers, than maybe you did at first. What are the differences in playing with each guy?
It's just the feel of the game. I know when I'm in with Goran, I know he'll be handling the ball more, and I'll be coming off the ball. And so I just focus on trying to get to my spots, screening for guys, getting them open, and as well as knocking down open shots, and getting out and having a pace with when I'm playing with Gordon. The pace, I feel like, is much faster. Specifically with Tyler, it's so easy playing with both of them, and I think Tyler, that pace is there as well, and he could fill up the stat sheet. I mean, quickly. Me and him can go on and fill up some stat sheets pretty quickly. I think that ignites our offense. So we feed off each other, and we just get each other going.
Kendrick, I wanted to ask you, when I threw this out there on Twitter, I said, what's the questions that you want us to ask Kendrick today? And this was like by far the number one question. And it's this, and from a basketball perspective, and really it's this. I can't remember a guy who's had success over his first couple of years with the Heat, who's had more kind of real high highs and then lows, and then had to pick himself back up to get to the point that you're at. A couple of things I wanted to ask about that. One, what was kind of the toughest point for you last season or this season? And who were the people you talked to, or how did you, because I know how you're Chicago tough and you worked to get to this spot, but how did you continue to kind of push yourself through to get back to where you're at right now, where you're a full-time starter and your efficiency is higher than it was last season?
Yeah, I think it was some highs and lows both seasons. Last year, maybe, I mean, I didn't play well going into the bubble. I was out with COVID and missed like training camp for the bubble and things like that. And that kind of took me out of the rotation. And it was a struggle getting back into the rotation when we were already in the playoffs, you know. So that was pretty tough, but I stuck with it. And we were in the bubble every day working hard. I was still working on my game, still with the team and practicing and working on things I need to work on. So eventually I stacked those days on top of each other, and it came back around to me. The opportunity came back around. And I think this year, just some ups and downs at the beginning of the season. I wasn't in a rotation at all, had some DNPs and things like that. But again, I was still putting in my work and handling what I need to do, being professional about it and staying ready for the opportunity as it would come back around again. So it was just the people in my circle, the coaching staff as well. I credit them and my teammates. They all told me to just stay ready. The opportunity will definitely come back around. Like I've seen it happen before. And I just had to believe that, you know. Sometimes you can get down on yourself, or you can fall out of sync with the team and things like that. You can be, you know what I'm saying, make excuses and a bunch of things, but that's not something I did. I stayed, I put the team first and stayed team driven and trying to help the team whichever way I could. And you know, we call it staying in the saddle. And that's pretty much what I did. And the opportunity came back around. I was ready for it.
We'll get back to our episode with Kendrick Nunn here in a second. Before we do, I want to tell you about a couple of great sponsors of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. If you've got a small or medium business, you've got to reach out to CPT of South Florida because they can give you the technology you need. They've been doing it for decades. They specialize in cloud-hosted phone systems and managed IT. Again, if you're looking to save money on your monthly phone and internet costs, you got to give TJ a call over at CPT of South Florida. He's been helping South Florida business save thousands per month. Can do the same for you. With a cloud phone system, you can work from anywhere on any device. You need convenience these days. So for a free in-person consultation, call TJ at 954-966-2766. That's 954-966-2766. And they've got a great promotion. Mention 5 Reasons, 25% off cloud phone service, including free phones and the first 2 months of service free. So deal with an owner, not a sales rep. You always want to deal direct. Give TJ at CPT a call at 954-966-2766 or visit his website at cpt-florida.com. That's cpt-florida.com. We want to thank another sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. If you're hungry, this is where you got to go. They're Miami, just like us. That's Miami Grill. You got to check it out for the gyros, for the cheesesteaks, for the wings, which they do all kinds of different ways, crispy, grilled, naked, or boneless. They're sauced to perfection with one of 3 new sauces. That's mango habanero, honey garlic, and Nashville hot. If you can't decide, get them all delivered with a catering order. But again, at Miami Grill, they do pickup, drive-through, dine-in, and delivery at all locations, and they're all over South Florida, even if you're a Fort Lauderdale guy like me. MyMiamiGrill.com or download the app, Miami Grill. If you're craving it, they're making it. And now, back to tonight's episode. I want to let Brady jump in here in a second, but just one follow on that. Were you a lot of guys who had COVID, you know, at the time they didn't talk about how it affected them, but maybe after the fact they did. Did you have any physical effects that bothered you? I remember your Zoom call when you came back, you said, I'm fine. It didn't really bother me, but did it in any way, either with your wind or anything else along those lines?
Yeah, it did a little bit because I had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and my COVID symptoms lasted a little longer than usual. Usually maybe 10 days, they say, and I was still testing positive, you know what I'm saying, a week after, maybe going 2.5 weeks, I was still testing positive. So It was just the symptoms weren't terrible, but I did have like a sore throat. Some days I would feel drained and energy low and things like that. So it was a bit struggle trying to shake that off and become healthy. I had to do a bunch of things. I just tried some home remedies and stuff like that, trying to steam and sweat a lot, just trying to get a lot of stuff out of my system. And it took a while. It took a while to get back healthy, but thank God I did.
Want to let Brady jump in here?
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to ask you about Duncan in particular. You two kind of came up together. You guys were pretty aligned with a lot of the things you did. Summer league together to jumping into a starting lineup. To now where you guys are basically the biggest parts of the offense. I'm just kind of wondering, like, where was the continuity coming from? Like, how did that kind of start and how has that grown since then? Obviously it gives you so much space to work and you guys play so much together, but I'm kind of wondering, when did you really realize that was serious, that when you guys get a lot of minutes, you can really be effective?
I seen it all the way back into day one. I'm not even joking. Like in summer league, like this guy's a lethal shooter. You know what I'm saying? He's an elite shooter. So we've just been building chemistry ever since. And I knew he was the type of player he was, even going back to the G League. And I was on the Santa Cruz Warriors. He was with Sioux Falls, the Heat G League. And we were playing against them. I knew he had talent. He was always a sniper. And then he put it on the floor a little bit more. So I seen his game overall. And when we got together, we just fed off each other. I would feed him. He would feed me. You know what I'm saying? We would challenge each other, make each other better. And I love going to work with Duncan. That's my guy.
Kendrick, so you mentioned just there how Duncan has kind of gotten better at putting the ball on the floor, adding counters, and not just being, the elite shooter that he already is. And I want to shout out my guy, Greg Sylvander here, the other guy of our crew. Couldn't be on tonight, but I did ask him if he wanted to ask you anything. And on behalf of him, he asked, who is someone in the league that you look at and ask, how can I incorporate what they do into my game?
I would say guys that I look at in the league, so it's a lot of guys that I just watch film on. And, I take some things out of their games. I'm just seeing how focused and locked in they are. Maybe, a catch and shoot from Curry, or the ball handling, pick and roll from Dame and CJ, or defensive clips from Drew, So I tap in. I try to tap into a little bit of everybody and take pieces of their games and implement to mine.
I want to get into the single fatherhood initiative with you here in a second, but just a couple more things kind of about your play. With everything that you've gone through, the ups and downs, I think some maybe wrote you off a little bit this year or maybe last year in the bubble. Does that stuff drive you in any way? Do you see it? Is it personally gratifying when you kind of get yourself to the top? I mean, what are your biggest drivers to kind of get to the next level?
My biggest driver, I would say, it comes from within. I can honestly say it comes from within. I mean, I don't look for outside influences to motivate me. I just feel like I'm the best, you know what I'm saying? And I want to prove that. So that's where my motivation and drives come from. Obviously, I have family and things like that also drives me. I have a son that I'm taking care of and raising, that he drives me a lot and motivates me. But honestly, I think it just comes from within, the natural joy of the game, and I just love playing.
But you're a guy also, I mean, Eric Reed's commented about this on telecast. Like, a lot of times we don't know how you're feeling on the court. Like with other guys, like Jimmy, we know, right? I mean, Bam a little bit. Tyler's got that bounce when he's feeling good. I mean, even Goran shows a little of that kind of, Euro Goran thing. But it's like, he even said it the other night. He's like, with Kendrick, it's like, I mean, that smile we saw from you, we see it here, but like, you're like one note on the court. Have you always been like that? I mean, even when you're yamming on people, they still don't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah. I inherited that at an early age. I think just from watching guys like Derrick Rose growing up, that was one of my idols that I watched and tried to modelize. I watched closely, coming from Chicago, him going to Simeon, things like that. He was very even kill throughout the game. Like through high school, you can go watch his highlights. He would be windmilling on people and one crack a smile, you know what I'm saying, or celebrate. So I got that from an early age. And I mean, we talk a lot about Navy SEALs training in the off season. I've done, you know what I'm saying, we've had some Navy SEALs come in and do some off-season training with us in college and in the off-season. So I just kind of picked their brand a little bit, and they always even kill. So I try to inherit little characteristics from them.
All right, but when Jimmy is trash talking somebody on the court, I mean, is it hard not to laugh sometimes?
No, I get involved for sure. I mean, you may not see it, but my opponent, I talk a little shit sometimes.
All right. And I got to ask you this, and we're gonna wrap this around here. But like, Jimmy talk. I mean, I'm sure you're on his team a lot in practice. Not that you guys get a chance to practice that much anymore, but like, has he given it to you at all in practice? I mean, Duncan's told some stories about him giving it to him. Has he given it to you at all?
Nah, I mean, Jimmy has days where, you know what I'm saying, everybody gets, you know what I'm saying, the whole team, he, you know what I'm saying, he carries that, he carrying the load, and the whole team is feeling it like, damn, we can't even stop this guy. So everybody felt it. You know, it's not, I haven't felt it individually, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one, but collectively as a group, and when we play or something like that, it definitely dominate the entire game.
I want to ask one more question when it comes to Jimmy and Bam. I think, you know, they were all NBA defenders last year, at least in my opinion. I don't think they've gotten significantly better as defenders. They're already elite, but somehow it feels like they turned it up on defense even more this year. Like Jimmy has turned into just an incredible like safety and help defender, as he was already a great one-on-one defender. We already knew that from his time in Chicago. And Bam, like, just with all the defensive coverages, like I mentioned earlier, just doing all this different stuff on the back line and the defense. And I just wanted to ask you directly, is Bam Defensive Player of the Year in your eyes?
He
or
is.
Is it Jimmy?
He is. I agree. He's definitely Defensive Player of the Year. First half of the Boston game the other day, only I hear because I'm next to him in the shrink, he's going at Tatum and talking shit crazy. Letting them know about it, like I'm here. Yeah. That's when I realized that, yes, sir, he needs that award. You know what I'm saying? He can defend 1 through 5. He can guard the post, the perimeter, block shots, passing lanes. He can do it all. I would definitely give him that award.
So Kendrick, him wearing the shirt of him blocking Tatum on the plane wasn't enough trash talk. He needed to do a little bit more there on the court.
Sometimes you got to let people know, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't give you that credit. Sometimes you just got to let them know. That's just the way it is.
All right, Kendrick, I want to get to the work that you're doing off the court now, important work in the city of Chicago and beyond. Can you get into a little bit of sort of how this initiative started, why it was important to you, and where you want to take it?
Yeah. So I partnered up with a group, a foundation called Dovetail Project. And what they do is supply essential needs to young males, Black single fathers in Chicago. So tap into Chicago just overall. And I found that non-for-profit organization that was perfect for me because I was also a young Black single father, and I can relate to them. So, man, we partnered up, we done something special.
And how does it work exactly? Because I went over some of the details on it, but essentially it's a matching grant. Is that what happens? And the proceeds go to those programs?
Yeah. So what I did was me and my team donated some cash and money to their foundation, and they're using that to supply essential needs and for the fathers. And they also having an online class where they're teaching the fathers, you know, different life skills that they may need.
I did have a quick one.
Go ahead.
I did have a quick one real quick about, aside from basketball, it's not normal for two rookies to have their name, you know, in a rap song or a song that quickly. You know, you weren't lucky enough to have it probably as the song title G League to this point. What was that like the first time, you maybe turn on the radio, look at your phone, and you hear your name in a song like that?
Yeah, that was big time, bro. I can't even lie to you. That was a surreal moment, because you don't know if everybody's paying attention, and that tells you that they're paying attention. To put your name in a rap song, like, I'm balling like I'm Kendrick Nunn. It says it all right there. So I'm just shout out to Polo G.
I was gonna ask you, because for those of us who aren't Brady's age at 17, I was gonna ask you. I mean, I know Tyler's song, and I've heard your lyric, but obviously, other than Polo G singing "Rap Star," which I know I wasn't gonna be able.
Wow.
Look at that! See, I just surprised Alex. I'm older than both of them combined, Kendrick. Probably all three of you combined. So we'll go with that. Before we let you go, I gotta ask you one thing. That shirt you're wearing, what is that? I want to take a photo of that. Is that?
The shirt. You peeped the shirt. This is a little retro Miami Heat shirt.
Look at that.
This is a tough one. Real classic retro. You should see the back. It's crazy.
And we'll close with this. You said you want people to know you're the best. If I was to say to you in 5 years, which I guess at that point you'll be a 30-something. In 5 years, what is Kendrick Nunn's career going to look like?
5 years. I mean, I'm not putting any limits on my career in 5 years. The sky's the limit. I say multi-time All-Star. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple championships under my belt. So some big things going to happen in the next 5 years for sure.
All right. Well, we know a two guard in Miami who won some championships, so maybe you can put some banners up there too.
Exactly.
Kendrick, we appreciate it. Where can people find the program that you're involved with in Chicago?
It's in Chicago. They have an Instagram page, Dovetail Project. I'm not sure how to reach out to them, but me and my team and my agent and my management reached out, and we collectively got that together through text message, and we also met up there from Chicago. So we kind of did that online a little bit.
All right. So check out Dovetail Project. Of course, check out None Better on Twitter. You got a big cheering section there that was excited about this. Kendrick, we really appreciate you taking the time and sharing some stuff with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
I got to figure out where to get that shirt and hear the song.
This a one-of-one. I'll give it to you if I see you, man.
With COVID, you guys know you'll never see the media again. That's the thing. You're always protected by a Zoom call these days. They ain't letting us in the locker room again, Kendrick. It's
That's
cool.
True. Hopefully, sooner or later, maybe next season, we can get you guys back, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys miss us that much. Kendrick, we appreciate the time, man.
Thanks,
Thank
Kendrick.
you. See you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Five on the Floor on the Five Regional Sports Network.